Alright, man. Let me give y'all part 4 to this video. Damn. RP Pan B Rock too. But this is part 4 of this No Limit Chicago Deadliest game. Go watch my other parts. I actually just made a playlist to it, so if y'all watch my other parts, just go to the playlist and watch them down below. I'm gonna start doing more videos like this. And then I gotta do that scary ass Corey Kenshin video, bro. I don't want to do it because it's 4 in the morning. I'm up by myself and I'm scared, so I don't want to do it. But let's get this shit going. Like, comment, and subscribe. Comment on what videos y'all want me to watch next.
In early 2014, No Limit members would allegedly catch KTS Von and shooting him in the chest, but he would get away and survive, with Von apparently spending weeks in hospital, later posting a picture of his weight loss on Instagram saying that bullet made him skinnier. Meanwhile, in 2014, Mad Max from No Limit is allegedly arrested several times for numerous minor infractions that would end up taking him off the street for a prolonged period. This would mean that for a period of time, 2 of the most feared people in this ongoing war would be off the streets of Terrortown. This would lead to a short period of calm, and thankfully 2014 was also a notable period for the music coming out of Terrortown and taking over the Chicago drill scene.
Shit. 2014 was just a year for music in general, bro. Like, that shit was just crazy. Especially Chicago drill.
After meeting at a youth center,
and I didn't even know all this was going on,
and bonding over their shared love of the rap game, G Herbo and Lil Bibby had risen to prominence off the back of their street anthem Kill Shit, the landmark Chicago drill track that put the No Limit rappers from Terrortown firmly on the map and up there with the greats of Chicago drill like Chief Keef and Lil Reese. And while tragedy continued to strike...
Bro. Drill-wise, Lil Reese, but music-wise, Lil Reese wasn't no damn impact, and that nigga is ass, bro.
In the streets, Herbo would continue to put his pain into music, using his art to memorialize his fallen friends. His fallen friend G Fazo was immortalized forever in the title of his first mixtape, 2013's Road to Fazoland, and his first full-length debut project, Welcome to Fazoland, which dropped on February the 17th, 2014. Also in 2014, G Herbo would get his first taste of success in the mainstream music industry, when he was featured on Nicki Minaj's underground hit Chirac, a tribute song to the violent underworld of Chicago. Nicki Minaj seems to really get into it, and on the track she even claims to be EBK or Everybody Killer. Meanwhile, Herbo's verse on the song was full of grimy references to life in Terrortown. His iconic hook on the song saw him rapping that he knows a couple guys down for a homicide.
Hey. He got that from the shit Kill Switch. You know, a couple of niggas that's down a ride for a homicide when it's drama time. Run up on them niggas, let them hold on. I might do it. That nigga said, though, a couple of niggas that's down a ride for a homicide when it's drama time. Run up on them nigga, let them lungs fire. Leave his loved ones on traumatized on 150. I'm really willing. I'll drop his ass and then I'll never get it. Damn. Man, that shit from Kill Shit. Just verses from Kill Shit.
Side, and elsewhere on the song shouting out Rock Block. Off the back of this song, Nicki Minaj would give G Herbo an enormous opportunity to perform at Summer Jam, his first chance getting up in front of thousands of fans on stage. Herbo would go on to say that it was this period that changed his life, but all of the added attention of being a poppin' rapper in the rap game wasn't without its headaches. Around this time, G Herbo would be forced to deny that NLMB was a gang, with him doing mainstream interviews with rap publications like XXL, where he would sidestep any affiliations with Chicago's criminal underworld, telling the magazine that Terrortown was a war zone growing up, but the NLMB had stood for Never Leave My Brothers. And it would make sense that G Herbo would want to distance himself from the gangs in Chicago. A mass shooting in a Terrortown laundromat on June the 3rd, 2014 put the warring Black Peace Stones in the media spotlight once again. A gunman had allegedly walked up to a strip mall and fired into the crowd, wounding 6 people, including 14 and 16-year-old boys, with a 41, 42, and 52-year-old being shot in the arms and legs, and a 27-year-old woman also being shot in the leg. Hell, this shooting was so bad a woman even injured her toe just trying to run away.
Fuck is wrong with your ass, bro? Like, hit your fucking target, you lame ass nigga. Walk up on him, get close, gangster.
The police at the time explained that they knew that this was a war between factions of the Gangster Disciples and the Black P Stones, describing this rivalry as one of the most violent in the city. Now, there wasn't any evidence linking these incidents to G Herbo or No Limit, but it's natural that his affiliations would come back to haunt him as he made a name for himself in the legitimate music industry. In fact, it seemed as if Lil Bibby had also realized that in order to make a legitimate name in the music industry, one's old gang affiliations might just become a liability. And following the success of Kill Shit, Lil Bibby's rap career flourished too. Story goes is that when Bibby was still in the streets, he was much more concerned with making money than killing ops. And this mentality seemed to translate into his music as well. His 3-installment mixtape series Free Crack alluded to themes of drug dealing and hustling that has been one of the most famous tropes of popular rappers in rap history. And Lil Bibby had an exceptional run in the rap game. And off the back of that, he eventually realized that there was much more money to be made in the boardroom than in the booth, with Bibby eventually setting his sights on bringing through the next generation of successful musicians from his city, with Bibby famously discovering Chicago rapper-singer Juice WRLD and signing him to his label in 2017. But that would be a few years away at this point. But still, it's believed that around this time, Lil Bibby was already distancing himself of the street ties from his past. And apparently this even ruffled a few feathers, because in June 2014, G Herbo would drop his song Just Bars, which features a lyric where Herb says that he will never leave his brothers, but someone else got on and forgot their homies, with Cairo from No Limit revealing many years later that Herbo was sneak dissing Bibby with this lyric, saying that Herbo was mad that Bibby left the gang behind after getting his record deal.
Bibby got signed first. Oh, he got in his feelings about some shit. He branched off on the guys. So now it's just Herb left, you know? Bibby already said he's separating himself, he on some commercial shit already. He made a song, Just Bars, sneak this Bibby.
Apparently around this time, unlike Bibby, G Herbo would remain in Terrortown, and the majority of the NLMB members felt that he was representing them in his music. And over the course of the rest of 2014, Herbo and other No Limit affiliates would drop songs referencing goings-on in the streets. On July the 6th, 2014, EBK Juvie drops Pistol Gang, a track dedicated to fallen member Pistol P, with lyrics also referencing Bud and Lolo, as well as shouting out Bibby and Herbo's mixtape titles, and even having a lyric where he says that Mad Max will come and kill people, and saying that they will do your mans like they did Jordan. Then on August the 24th, G Herbo drops a remix to Bobby Shmurda's Hot Boy. In the music video, Herbo is seen on the block surrounded by No Limit goons, and on the track he says a lot of incriminating things, like that he used to pop people before rap, saying G Mainski taught him to use others to do hits for him, and he says check the news, somebody went to sleep for Kobe. And in what might be yet another sneak diss towards Lil Bibby, Herbo claimed not to care about record deals. He would shout out VO and Pistol P, and as the year went on, Herbo would continue to honour his fallen friends in his projects. Of course, there was
to this day, I still haven't heard Hot Nigga by G Herbo. To this day, bro, I still haven't heard Hot Nigga by G Herbo, bro. So if y'all done heard Hot Nigga by G Herbo, hey, maybe I need to go back and listen to that. Cause to this day, I still ain't heard that shit. Yo, this album was low-key. This mistake was kind of hard. I ain't gonna lie, I heard this shit in 7th grade.
The Pistol P project in December 2014, and of course the Ballin' Like I'm Kobe mixtape dedicated to Kobe. In the years where Lil Bibby tried to step away from the streets and towards the music industry to become a legitimate entrepreneur, G Herbo seemed to take the opposite approach, proudly displaying his gang affiliations in his songs and music videos, with very little care to presenting a commercial and polished image to the music industry. And in a way this worked for him, because while Lil Bibby was burrowing behind the scenes of the rap game, trying to make a bag without it all being about him and his music, G Herbo was becoming the face of Terrortown, carving a place out for himself in the Chicago drill Mount Rushmore. But the only problem was, eventually G Herbo would need to stay away from the streets and soften up his image, if not for the money, then for survival. But the sad truth is that the killers and shooters who stood by Little Herb, while Lil Bibby supposedly left his brothers behind, would wind up being extra hurt when G Herbo ended up doing the same. And naturally, in the years that went by, more and more bloodshed in Terrortown meant that those brothers who did get left behind would only take things more and more personally.
Hey, look. First of all, if you in the street, if you know, you know. Cairo was trolling in that interview, bro. That's all I'm saying. Listen, they is fucking shit up right now. If y'all ain't tuned into the war right now, well, let me tell you something. Them niggas is fucking shit up, bro. Okay, them NLMB niggas is fucking shit up right now, so Kyrie, that was a smart thing doing that interview. That's all I'm gonna say.
Despite the likes of G Herbo and Lil Bibby getting opportunities to make money and build careers in the music industry, the danger in Terrortown, the blocks where they came from, remained for their friends still in the streets. The violence would simply continue as their block and their gang begun to get more and more famous from drill music. The next person to lose their life in the ongoing conflict between NLMB and Black Mob would come on the 16th of October 2014, when a Black Mob affiliate by the name of T-Bone, real name Alexander D. Smith, was walking down the 7500 block of South Colfax Avenue accompanied by a 14-year-old boy. He'd allegedly be caught by rivals from NLMB, being shot multiple times and dying at the scene, with the young boy accompanying him also being grazed in the hit. Little is known about what happened after T-Bone was killed, but Shooter Shells would later rap about the situation, suggesting that he was upset that T-Bone was never avenged. But as you know, No Limit have many ops in the city, and separate to their war with Black Mob, they were still waging a bitter war with Lakeside and the KTS crew. Their most feared shooter, KTS Von, was the top trophy for the No Limit soldiers. Von had seemingly taken a bullet to the chest in early 2014 that took him off the streets for a significant amount of time, but going into 2015, the war between No Limit and KTS would heat up once again. Ironically, for once in this beef, each side would trade shots at each other back and forth on songs rather than in the streets. On March the 10th, 2015, Bibby and Herb dropped Kill Shit Part 2, aka Ain't Heard About You, which featured lyrics where G Herbo invited his ops to pull up on him on Essex and 79th, as well as saying he smokes Posto, and naturally, seeing as Bibby and Herb's careers had been taking off, with songs dissing dead ops, naturally once he'd recovered from his injuries, KTS Von would get back in the booth, recording some of the biggest songs of his career. On April the 10th, 2015, he drops the track Street Life, featuring a music video showing Von literally cooking crack on a trap house stove, and a chorus where Von says if he didn't kill for Posto, it wouldn't be right.
Hey, I'm in the street life, I'm in the street life. If I didn't kill for pasta, it won't be right. Yeah.
Rap that he got caught lacking when he got shot, but that every shooter isn't a killer. He also says on the song that he's smoking Kobe. And in a way, this song was a sad but true reflection.
That's some real shit though. That nigga said, every shooter not a killer, it is street life. Real shit though. That's some real shit though. And this song is real because like, he really in the street. You feel what I'm saying? That nigga said, if I didn't kill for pasta, it wouldn't be right. Every shooter, not a killer in his...
it wouldn't be right. He would rap that he got caught lacking when he got shot, but that every shooter isn't a killer. He also says on the song that he's smoking Kobe. And in a way, this song was a sad but true reflection on the dead-end street life that KTS Von had been born into. It came with other lyrics warning the listener that falling in the street life will have you doing awful things, like killing a friend of 10 years, or dying broke unable to fund the ongoing gang war. But it would be
Damn. Wait, let me read that shit.
Killing a friend of...
Might have to kill your 10-year nigga in this street life. That shit so true, bro. It's some nigga that you could been cool with y'all whole life, but y'all jumped into the streets and been beefing ever since then. So now it's like, damn. You might gotta kill your 10-year nigga, bro. I think teed up what's his name? TB from Taekwondo World. TB. Allegedly, he killed one of his niggas. He was cool for 10 years, but he was from Front Street, so.
10 years, or dying broke unable to fund the ongoing gang war. But it would be KTS Von's next song that would be the most famous of his career, and unfortunately, his last. On April the 29th, 2015, KTS Von releases the music video for the track Kill to Survive. The music video would feature yet more offensive merch listing their ops that they've killed, and the song's central chorus of Kill to Survive became the perfect national anthem for KTS gang members. Von would rap about literally living in the purge, and claiming to slide through Terrortown with Lakeside members, putting people in the sky while dropping fives. And following the track's release, he would be seen on social media, driving around the ops territory, blasting the song at full volume and showing off his pistol. KTS Von was beginning to make a name for himself, but so too was G Herbo, who continued releasing music referencing the war with Lakeside. On May the 31st, 2015, Herbo drops Back at It Part 3, opening his verse with lyrics about smoking Posto, Bud, Lolo, and T-Bone, as well as Scoob, who was the brother of Black Mob member Shooter Shells, who died as part of a different beef while Shells was in jail. Herbo would also acknowledge the McDonald's incident on this song, saying check the video because a few of the people from it like Posto and that.
Usually don't know like at the video, yeah, a few of them gone. I remember that shit.
But sadly, G Herbo's lyrics would end up being much more prophetic than he realised when he recorded them, because soon the main protagonist from that No Lack in 3 video would also lose his life. Apparently, on June the 22nd, KTS Von would exchange threats back and forth with a No Limit member by the name of Chopper. And the day after this exchange, on June the 23rd, 2015, KTS Von, real name Davon Davis, was standing outside an apartment on the 7500 block of Ellis Avenue. Apparently high on pills at the time, he was alone and drugged up, essentially vulnerable to any of the many ops who would desperately want to pull up and catch him lacking. At around 2:05 PM, a group of men passing by in an SUV allegedly spotted him slowing down and firing shots. KTS Von would be shot multiple times, including twice in the chest and once in the head, in what authorities expected was a drive-by where they wanted to make sure he was dead. Von was indeed later pronounced dead at the scene, and weirdly it was also reported that shortly after the shooting, another mysterious SUV came down the block where the murder had been committed, rolling down the window with the occupant of the car asking the nearby crowd if somebody else got killed, with a woman apparently replying that it was a birthday party, whilst another man nearby would hold out his fingers mimicking a gun and saying boom. KTS Von's murder would go unsolved, and whilst Von's friends and family mourned the loss of the KTS general, Big Cutthroat the Smoker himself, many theories would follow as to who was responsible for the killing. Chopper from NLMB, who had gone back and forth with Von in the comments the day before his death, would post a video online, apparently right after the murder, rapping the lyrics about killing for Posto from Von's April song titled Street Life, changing the lyrics to say that he should have killed for Posto and now he's in the sky, and suggesting that all of their dead homies are now beating Von's ass.
If he ain't killed for Posto, it won't be right. He should have killed for Posto and kept his pipe. But now he up there for no business. Why your dumb ass?
And a day after Von's death, Chopper would also tweet that the ops are lacking whilst they're lurking. Despite not being formally charged in the case, NLMB Chopper would later be taken off the streets anyway, catching a murder case for killing a man who allegedly wouldn't share his blunt. Others have credited the killing of KTS Von to
What the fuck, bro? You killed a nigga because he wouldn't share his blunt with you, bro. Well, bitch, now you would never be able to smoke a blunt again in your life.
Despite not being formally charged in the case, NLMB Chopper would later be taken off the streets anyway, catching a murder case for killing a man who allegedly wouldn't share his blunt. Others have credited the killing of KTS Von to Mad Max, aka C Money or Killer Chris, because only 2 days after the shooting, Max would post to his Instagram a picture of a lion with a bloody face, and a caption reading, "One picture, 1,000 words." And Max would also post yet another picture of him with No Limit member Mally, along with the caption, "Splash Brothers." In response to this, KTS Von's brother KTS Dre would even jump in the comments, asking Mad Max for his phone number, which he actually provided. Another detail that had people thinking Mad Max was responsible was the fact that soon after the hit, Mad Max would change his description on Instagram to call himself The Smoker, which had previously been KTS Von's nickname. This would catch on, and No Limit, Diesel, and 30 Clips would end up releasing a song called Don't Get Exposed, where they claim to have took the name The Smoker from Von. And in the music video for that track, No Limit members were seen doing KTS Von's signature pose of having one hand over his mouth and another hand doing a gun sign to his head. Ever since the killing of KTS Von, No Limit members would seemingly adopt this pose en masse.
Damn! Oh my mama, I seen G Herbo do that shit hella times, bro. Hey, that's some good ass observation, bro. That nigga was hated. Boy, you was hated, boy. You had niggas. You stupid,
KTS
bro.
Von's signature pose of having one hand over his mouth and another hand doing a gun sign to his head. Ever since the killing of KTS Von, No Limit members would seemingly adopt this pose en masse as a regular sign of disrespect towards Lakeside. Basically, once KTS Von died, everybody in No Limit was rejoicing. Ramo from No Limit tweeted RIP Kobe days after the murder. Chopper would continue mocking Von on his own Instagram. Ramo would point out, the day following the murder, that most of the ops in the No Lack in Part 3 video are now dead. No Limit jocks celebrated with social media posts honouring Kobe and mocking Von. Now, despite the mountain of examples suggesting No Limit were responsible for the killing of KTS Von, other theories have circulated painting a different picture. Some suspect that Von's killer may have actually been a rival from Sircon City, as only a few days after the killing of Von, a Sircon member by the name of Eric Turner was gunned down, with one theory suggesting that the same man who killed Von might be the same person from Sircon City who would kill Von's father, Vincent Davis Sr., which took place around a year and a month after after the killing of Von. While it hasn't definitively been proven who killed Von, it's clear that his passing was the best news No Limit could have hoped for. But it's believed that after the killing of Von, KTS and Lakeside were out for blood, with a particular focus on Mad Max. However, in this case, revenge would be out of reach, because sometime after Von's death, his brother Dre would end up being taken off the streets as a result of a gun charge, leaving some of the No Limit members free to focus on the numerous beasts in the streets, now that two of their biggest rivals from Lakeside were no longer active, with one particular member of No Limit choosing instead to take things further with music and finally distance themselves from this dangerous street activity. Despite perhaps earlier feeling Lil Bibby had gone the commercial route and left his brothers from the No Limit streets behind, as G Herbo's career progressed, he would get more and more options to take things mainstream. After his successful collab with industry heavy hitter Nicki Minaj, and a successful series of mixtapes dedicated to the friends he'd lost in the streets, on the 3rd of September 2015, Herbo would attempt to build a business around his ear for music, signing a record deal with CMG Cinematic Music Group and changing his stage name from Lil Herb to G Herbo, with the CMG founder praising his new assignee and business partner for creating cinematic songs that paint a vivid picture of street life in Chicago. And as well as a record deal, Herbo would get his own subsidiary record label, which he named after his block, 150 Dream Team. And G Herbo's first release as part of this album deal would be the suitably titled song No Limit, a track where Herbo would quite literally spell out his gang affiliations as a member of the No Limit Muskegon Boys. Herbo's ability to turn street pain into cinematic rap music would continue to be praised and rewarded, and in 2016 he would continue a steady climb to the top. On January the 3rd, 2016, G Herbo and Lil Bibby dropped the music video for their new track Don't Worry. Clearly there were no signs of love lost between Herbo and Bibby at this point, who were both seeing the benefits of getting money in the music industry rather than in the streets. That track today sits at over 30 million plays on YouTube, perhaps helped by the fact that the song paints a cinematic picture of the dangerous life on Terrortown without going as far as to diss specific dead ops by name. A much more commercial friendly form of street music that would pay dividends going forward. As Herbo got more success through 2016, he would make public tweets about his dead friends believing in him, and by November he was appearing on The Breakfast Club, with Charlemagne making light of the violence in Chicago and joking from the start that Herbo's father probably killed people.
He probably killed people, so they ain't played with it.
Nah, I don't know. Like, I ain't gonna lie, Pop.
But as things went on, this interview would be no joke, as Herbo opened up on the violence in Chicago being a result of the lack of leadership that the older generations of gangs in Terrortown perhaps had.
It was once upon a time where street dudes had morals and certain principles and think and move a certain way. Like, the shorties don't have guidance.
Herbo would also speak on moving out of the center of Chicago now that he...
Or the niggas that did have leadership, they decided to do dumb shit like Jeff Fort. This nigga tried to fucking meet up with world leaders and bombs and bunch of stupid shit. I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with this nigga?
Found success in music.
I don't have a certain label where they're like, no, just keep him away from you. You feel me? Like,
but did you move out the crib? Did you move away from Chicago? Or
I moved away from where it's going down at, you know, like the inner city, you feel me? But I'm still in Chicago. It's only two things that come with the streets. Jail or death. Every street dude know you have to take that extra step or that small sacrifice if you want to excel in life, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Herbo would say that over the last 2 years or so, he had made the conscious decision to distance himself from street activity.
When did you say, okay, let me get out of the street and really focus on my career in music?
I would say for like the past year and a half, 2 years, I just been super focused.
Herb would go on to explain that the reality of street life is much more negative than the music would make it seem, saying essentially that the streets have brought him nothing but pain over the years.
They haven't been through the situations where they lost 5 homies. You never hear nobody waiting outside your mother, your grandmother crib trying to kill you. I cried a lot of nights being in the streets. My mother crying. If I see my mother cry, that's gonna make me cry.
Right.
Herbo would end 2016 with his November 24th mixtape Strictly For My Fans, earning Herbo his first small taste of chart success, with the project landing at number 8 on the Billboard US Heat Seekers chart. And he would go on to spend the majority of 2017 building on that success.
I ain't gonna lie, that's when he dropped Humble Beast that got down. What's that shit song? He that shit with Lil Uzi Vert that got down. Oh, bitch, everything. Herbo, what you do for fun? Bitch, everything. What y'all drugs you run around? When you gonna die, what you gonna leave your mom? Bitch, everything you on it. Niggas laugh out everything, put it on they homies. I did not everything, I didn't throw the votes. They ain't even choke. That nigga G Herbo style.
And working up to the release of his
everything, use your fucking throat. Yeah, this
debut
shit.
album, Humble Beast.
I remember when I first heard this album, bro. It was the first week of school, bro. In 9th grade, 2017, bro. First week of school, 9th grade, September, bro. We was walking to the bus stop. Me, my nigga Jeremy, this nigga Sincere, we cool with. And he played this shit, bro. And then we went back to the crib after school and I played this shit.
Earning Herbo his very first entry on the Billboard 200 albums chart, landing at 21. And the 2018 deluxe version of Humble Beast featured the Chicago drill anthem Never Cared, which I would say goes down as having one of the hardest Chicago drill beats in history. Herbo was truly making his way in the music industry, with a major label behind him, a label imprint of his own, and the first of many hit records being recognized by the Billboard charts. He was finally getting the opportunity that so many who lost their lives in Terrortown would have only dreamed of. But sadly, whilst Herbo was making major moves, many were left behind in Terrortown, and the violence would only continue to escalate in Herbo's absence. Following the death of KTS Von in summer 2015, members of the No Limit gang would continue to be targeted in attacks by their various ops. Eventually, Shooter Shells from Black Mob would be released from jail after 18 months, apparently the result of a raid in a house he was staying at with a girl.
We had this little crib together, you feel me, down there on 73rd, on Phillips or whatever, and she, I don't know, I guess she was going left and she called the police and got that motherfucker ready because the crib was in her name. So she gave them consent to get the crib searched or whatever, you feel me? You know, she gonna say whatever reason why she did the shit. And shit, they searched the crib. You know, they found some guns or whatever, you feel me? And you know, they found some other shit that they was able to use to pin that shit on me. So shit, I went down for that shit. I've been booked for like 18 months for that shit.
At this time, it's believed that Shooter Shells was really looking to avenge his fallen brother Scoobs, whose life had been taken by another gang whilst he was inside. Allegedly, Scoobs was killed by a man named Yogi from a set called ABK in May 2014. And after his release, it's said that Shooter Shells would get his revenge, allegedly catching Yogi, real name Dujuan Williams, on June the 27th.
I ain't gonna lie. Yogi, boy, they did him fucking terrible, bro. Oh my gosh. I watched the little shit, the Shooter Shell shit from Jay Willie Silly channel. Man, they did that boy Yogi fucking insane.
2016, with the news reporting a 20-year-old man shot dead on the 7400 block of South Shore Drive. Shooter Shells had apparently caught Yogi and another 18-year-old man, shooting them both, with Yogi being shot in the head numerous times, later being pronounced dead in hospital. And Shooter Shells would go on to rap about the killing in numerous tracks. For example, in the song Pac-Man, where him and his crew quite literally tote sniper rifles in the music video, Shooter Shells would rap that he's smoking Yogi, as well as telling fans that his crew Black Mob are friendly with Lakeside and the Cutthroats, who were also beefing No Limit during this period. Considering how disrespectful Shooter Shells was getting towards No Limit in some of his songs, it's no surprise that him and G Herbo would actually go back and forth in a lyrical exchange. G Herbo had actually been dissing Shooter Shells in his music as early as 2012 on the track My Hood, where he raps that he's not scared of Black Mob and to tell Shooter that they're changing the name of his hood by killing his friends. Herbo would go further on his I'm a Boss freestyle, where he says if he sees Shooter he's going to shoot him, or blam the 8 as he puts it. So when Shooter Shells came out of jail, he was eager to drop songs clapping back at the perceived disrespect coming from G Herbo and No Limit. On March the 21st, 2017, Shooter Shells would drop his song Godfather, where he once again mocks Yogi, saying that they smoke him, going on to infer that that killing was revenge for Scoobs, as he raps he was in jail when Scoobs died and he couldn't say goodbye. Now it's rumoured that only 9 days after this song, Shooter Shells would catch another body, with this rumoured to be his 5th murder, the 4th committed against No Limit. This being a very personal killing, the shooting of the father of Lil Wet, or Wet 'em Up, from NLMB, who went by the name of Big Wet. Now the killing of Big Wet would ultimately result in a shocking retaliation that ended up killing 4 people, but we'll cover that in more detail.
That boy got back, nigga. Hey, Lil Wet, hey, Wet 'em Up, that nigga got back. I'ma tell you, that's all I'm gonna, that nigga went, hey, his pops died, bro, and look, nigga, that nigga went and spent back, nigga, for that nigga.
Sure, because at this point, all you need to know is that ultimately when Shooter Shells got out of jail, he was on the warpath looking to cause maximum pain and disrespect to his opposition, both in the streets and in the music. And on the 6th of April 2017, he would make a big splash with his latest diss song aimed at No Limit, titled Death of 150. This was a savage and disrespectful song aimed at his rivals, namely G Herbo and his 150 Dream Team record label. The music video featured an armory of guns, with a Tech 9 being menacingly dangled from a string in the intro, and as the video went on, we would see an individual wearing a t-shirt of G Herbo's 150 Dream Team record label being attacked. with the 150 shirt eventually being burned on camera at the end of the video. If anything, the lyrics of the track are even more disrespectful than the visuals, because it's wall-to-wall with disrespect aimed squarely at No Limit and G Herbo. He would say Herbo's rapping ass don't want to shoot, suggesting the only way Shooter Shells can touch Herbo now is through music. He would rap menacingly that since G Herbo moved out the city, Shooter Shells is going to come looking for him. He says if he catches somebody on No Limit turf on Essex and 79th, he's going to put them on the news and have College Kid making videos about them. He says that Herbo will soon be meeting his dead friends Rock, Kobe and Fazo, even referencing Herbo's earlier mixtape Ballin' Like I'm Kobe, saying that Herbo won't be like Kobe until he's dead. He goes on to say that if he catches a No Limit member, he's going to kill them regardless of there being witnesses. He says all of the disses aimed towards him from G Herbo's songs will get Herbo killed, and he ends the track dissing numerous No Limit members: G Herbo, Fazo, Kobe, Vito, Simo and Pistol P. Death of 150 went crazy in the streets of Chicago, and had drill music fans picking sides between Herbo and Shooter Shells. It was also the biggest song of Shooter Shells' career, today sitting over 7 million views on YouTube, with his other songs tending to average in the low hundreds of thousands. This song made Shooter Shells a much bigger name in the Chicago drill scene, and in an effort to capitalize off the back of this growing buzz, he would continue to release more music, and getting more and more brazen with his lyrics. On May 22nd, 2017, Shooter Shells drops the song Real Ones, where he appears to admit to killing more people, with him even rapping at one point, "I'm talking my count alone, I've got a whole nick," meaning a nickel or 5 kills. It's strange to think that a person who, by their own admission, had allegedly killed 5 people, would allow videographers to visit their block and ask them specific questions about their life in the streets. But that's what happened, and only a few days after that song released, an interview with Shooter Shells would drop, where he would speak on the disses between him, G Herbo and the No Limit crew, saying that he was essentially retaliating to Herbo's early disses on the track I'm a Boss, and saying that the beef between them two is personal.
You know, like, we've been in tour with them guys for a minute, you know, Lil Herb or whatever, them, like all them little 150 guys. You feel me? It ain't specifically Lil Herb, it's just all of them. You feel me? I ain't singling out just him. You feel me? All of them. We in tour with the whole, all of them. You feel me? Like, when he first started rapping or whatever, you feel me? When motherfuckers were just local, he had mentioned my name in a track. This one, I wasn't even really rapping like that. You know, everybody always play around with the music, but you feel me? I wasn't taking that shit too serious. You feel me? Motherfucker put me up on game. Not that y'all don't hear, but that I'm a boss shit. He said some shit about me or whatever. You know, it's rap beef. Once a motherfucker mention my name, we go at it. You feel me? Because, you know, we really into it. It ain't like this just some odd motherfucker I never heard of. This motherfucker, you know, we into it. You feel me? So I mentioned them back, but it ain't really getting no recognition.
Shooter would say that too much has gone on in this beef, and that there would be no chance of him and Herbo squashing it.
You think it's like any way that situation can be solved?
No, I don't know, man. It been too much going on. You feel me? It's been too much going on. That shit have never got down.
Shells would also explain that the war between these two groups had escalated from schoolyard fights to gunfights and full-scale gang war.
You know, a lot of shit with the Lil Herb shit, it wasn't even just Lil Herb though, you feel me? He used to go to a whole nother, like, when I was like in 6th grade, I used to go to PAL. You feel me? Then we used to be like, you know, elementary school was close by. Elementary schools used to fight. You feel me? We been always in tour with them. And as we got older, you feel me? The shit just escalated. You feel me? So, you know, motherfuckers started gang banging, fist fights turned into gunshots. You feel me? Gunplay. As we got older, high school, and then motherfuckers started playing with guns, people started dying, or somebody got shot, and ain't nobody gonna let that shit go. You feel me? So, once a motherfucker get hit, bloodshed, the shit, it'll never be the same.
Shooter Shells would also explain
that shit crazy. Them niggas started off as little kids just fighting. Just little niggas. Imagine the older niggas coming to the block, man. Y'all little niggas stay fighting. What the fuck on? But then it lasts to middle school. It's like, damn, them little niggas still be fighting and shit, man. Y'all sit y'all ass down somewhere. Then high school, one young nigga decided to pick up a gun. So another nigga pick up a gun. But one nigga died. So now it's like, oh shit. You know them little niggas that was fighting back a couple years ago in elementary school? Yeah, they shooting now. Now they ass into it. That shit crazy, bro. That, I ain't gonna lie. What the fuck? That shit crazy.
That since dropping his Death of 150 diss track, his DMs are crammed with fans of No Limit telling him that he is going to be the next one to die in the war.
You feel me? You got motherfuckers, they, you know, sending me messages on Instagram telling me you gonna be the next pack. You feel me? All this extra shit, you know, fuck your dead homies, all this, just a whole bunch of goofy shit.
A few weeks after this, another interview with Shooter Shells would take place, this time with Zach TV, where he would discuss the long-running beef with G Herbo, denying that he was dissing Herbo for clout on the Death of 150, and saying that the beef has been going on between them for years in the streets.
Yeah, you know, we in tour with them. You feel me? The Lil Herb guys or whatever, the No Limits, you feel me? We in tour with them, so there's a whole bunch of East Side shit going on. You feel me? I don't know too many people know what's going on. You feel me? Motherfucker be always talking about clout chasing like I'm just trying to come out, diss the man, and you feel me, get some clout, hell no, and shit like that. Motherfucker been a Twitter. Here's the thing, like even before Herb even came around, you feel me, this was like, motherfuckers in 6th grade elementary school, motherfuckers been always fighting them niggas. But in that
so this shit been going on back in the day?
A motherfucker been fighting them since elementary school, and then as a motherfucker got in high school, the shit gonna escalate, you feel me? Then motherfuckers start playing with guns, all that shit, so I end up getting locked up again, you feel me? So I'm recently just not coming home, but you know, the shit's still on, the beef's still on, motherfucker diss me, the shit is still busting. If you don't get no fuck cause he getting on, I ain't finna wrap that shit up.
Funnily enough, Shooter Shells explained why he never dissed Lil Bibby, seemingly respecting Bibby's focus on getting money rather than dissing dead ops.
And shout out to Bibby, man. You know, he on some grown man shit, but why y'all respect him?
Yeah, I got respect for Bibby, you feel me? You know, he doing his thing. I don't never recall hearing Bibby say shit about, he'll probably say the ops, but he don't say shit about no black mob, there's no fuck such and such, no fuck this, no fuck that.
Shooter Shells once again reiterated that there was so much bloodshed for the two sides to settle in this beef at this point that only the people who got rich would be the ones to escape the cycle.
Can this shit change now?
Nah.
It been a lot of bloodshed though. You feel me? Even if
bodies lost.
Even if motherfuckers had money, you feel me? A motherfucker would do that rap beat shit. Who's to say that if a certain nigga from down now, you feel me? It probably, you know, certain like motherfuckers that got the money, they probably don't be on that shit trying to, you know, risk it all and got them and get locked up all that. But it's still gonna be niggas that ain't in play that got some bread that can really stop shit. They gonna be still keeping the bullshit up. You feel me? The shit gonna keep happening, man. Motherfuckers died behind that shit. You gonna hear all his homies die. You feel me? I lost my brother to that shit, so it ain't like I could just turn my back and be like, you feel me? Fuck that shit. But if I was to get on that shit, it'd be some more like for the next generation type shit.
Okay.
Like, man, you feel me? Motherfucker gotta learn how to forgive and let shit go, because if we just keep this shit up, the shit it's just gonna be, you feel me? Like,
y'all kids gonna be killing each other, bro. Yo kids gonna grow up in that shit, bro. You gotta think about that, bro. Y'all got kids, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, this my block, this my niggas and shit, but you know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas got kids and shit, bro. Your kids gonna grow up and be doing the same shit y'all doing. Think about your kids, bro. Think about your kids, bro. Think about that. Now it's like your kid gonna grow up and have this personal grudge towards these niggas and make him feel like he gotta do something and something go down. Like your little niggas and shit, like teach them. It's so many different ways to life, but this street shit don't forever goes on because there ain't gonna be another Dr. Martin Luther King. There ain't gonna be another Malcolm X. But they gonna always be another King Von. There's gonna always be another Shooter Shells. There's gonna always be another Larry Hoover.
That's the cycle shit will keep going on and on and on.
Halfway through this conversation, Zach TV discovers Shooter Shells' age, and I've got to say the answer surprised me too.
Man, let me guess, 29?
21.
Bro, you 21, bro?
Yeah.
My nigga, that nigga was a kid. Bro, Shooter Shells was a whole ass kid, bro. So this interview, this nigga was a kid. Not even how he looked, bro, just the way he act, bro. The nigga acted like he was fucking goddamn 40. 2040, nigga act like he was 40 years old, bro. He's a damn kid. The nigga's 21. I mean, I'm 19, but damn, he was a damn kid. He was young. G Herbo older than him.
Yeah, man.
What the fuck? How you age so quick? What the fuck going on, bro?
Man, I've been through a lot in my life, man.
Regardless of what Shooter Shells or any of the gangs from this story did in the streets, there's no ignoring that a lot of the violence in Chicago is likely the result of the harsh situation that many of these young men found themselves in growing up. And as Shooter Shells opens up about all the pain he went through losing relatives at such a young age, it does a lot to explain what actually caused him to become this violent person.
My OG passed when I was like 11. My pops died when I was like 9.
Man, fuck around, lose your mom and dad, lose your bro of that 2014.
Bro, you lost your mother, your father, and your brother.
Yeah.
Damn,
So
shit.
that's a lot.
My condolences, bro.
To come to this shit, you feel me? All this street shit, that's a lot. A motherfucker gotta mature. You gotta mature fast. You gotta grow up. You gotta take care of yourself out here. It's all fun and games until one of your loved ones get killed. You feel me? Nobody understands shit until one of yours died. Then you be like, motherfucker be mad. You want to strike back, but at the same time, another one of your loved ones can die. So you gotta look at your loved ones every day like, man, motherfucker get their life taken to this shit.
Shooter Shells was clearly dealt a difficult card in life, and unfortunately his reaction was to dish out pain to others. And despite having the wisdom of an older man as a result of growing up fast in the streets, unfortunately one of the consequences of causing so so much pain to others would be that karma would eventually catch up. And sadly for Shooter Shells, less than a month after that interview with Zach TV, karma would indeed come knocking, when on July the 10th, 2017, some have suggested that Shooter Shells' location was given away, because as he was getting into his car, a white Nissan Altima pulled up with 3 shooters hopping out and gunning Shooter Shells down in the middle of an urban...
The way they did Shooter Shells was fucking insane. They literally, like, they fucking annihilated him, bro. Like, he looked unrecognizable. They shot him like 18 times in the face, my nigga. He had no face after that.
Gresham Street in broad daylight. But that wasn't the end of things, because the murder of Shooter Shells is one of the most gruesome in Chicago history. Story has it, after Shooter Shells was struck, he would fall to the ground, at which point numerous shooters stood over him, taking turns firing bullets into his face. In what was one of the most grisly deaths in Chicago drill history, he was shot in the face as many as 18 times, with a graphic picture of Shells' disfigured body taken by a member of the public and posted online, which is far too graphic to show you on YouTube. Police would recover a whopping 43 shell casings at the scene. Due to the serious nature of this crime, and likely due to Shooter Shells' involvement in numerous murders across the city, the FBI would be called in to work on the investigation, with the FBI allegedly filing a court order to search the content of Shooter Shells' iPhone, which was found in his pocket after his death. It's unclear whether the FBI found anything of note on Shooter Shells' iPhone, but what we do know as a result of police documents later posted on Reddit drill community Chiracology is that the prime suspect in the killing of Shooter Shells was Mad Max from No Limit. Numerous outlets would go on to report that Mad Max was named as one of the shooters, with the cops apparently picking up Mad Max a week after the killing of Shooter Shells, catching him with a gun with a defaced serial number, but clearly the cops didn't have any further evidence connecting Max with the incident, and he was ultimately let go. G Herbo would actually go live following the death of Shooter Shells. He was with his girlfriend at the time, and she was apparently unaware of the news, finding herself surprised with just how many people had tuned in, joining the live obviously to see Herbo's reaction to the death of Shooter Shells.
Damn, my shit just went up real quick. That's because it's your birthday, bro. They ass phony kicking. We trying to see what you doing, man. Y'all nosy as hell, bro. What y'all trying to see what she doing for? Comment who lie this is. Comment right now, first person. Who this is? This or us? Because if this her shit going crazy like this, I ain't getting on my shit for a month. Y'all ass ain't gonna see me. Oh yeah, this my shit. Stop it. This man. This Swervo. 150 dream shit. Stop playing. This Swervo shit, boy. Stop playing.
Soon after this, Herbo would be seen running around outside.
And that bitch such a hoe.
In a seemingly good mood, telling viewers that he's in Chicago downtown and that it's going to take the ops 2 hours to get to him.
Hold on, wait. Oh, Vito, make a motherfucker mad as hell. Y'all good, Grant? That's a little black. That's a black. That bitch tinted it up, y'all show. Y'all show y'all what we call a PJ. Motherfucker good. Oh, game. Hold on, wait, where I'm at? Wait, hold on. Oh, Vito, bitch. Stop playing. My shit good. I'm in the rack right now. I'm downtown. Gonna take y'all ass 2 hours to get right here. You guys have my baby on the pitch. Oh, she got the VVS dress, all VVS diamonds and that shit. What y'all want to address my next location or something, boy? How the fuck they miss a whole 100 shot? How the fuck you miss a whole 100 shots? So photo.
Eventually, Herbo would find his comments inundated with people mentioning Shooter Shells, prompting Herbo to snap into a rage and telling people to get off his page.
But y'all stop commenting shit on my page. Get the fuck off my page if y'all finna comment all this lame ass shit. I already know everything that's going on. Leave me the fuck alone. I don't know nothing about none of y'all. Ask the police on Vito. Get the fuck off my page with that gay ass shit. I don't know nothing about nothing.
Bro, did I just hear a fucking whistle? Did I just hear a whistle? Hold on.
Everything that's going on, leave me the fuck alone. I don't know nothing about none of y'all. Ask the police on Vito. Get the fuck off my page with that gay ass shit. I don't know nothing about nothing. Get the fuck off my page before I don't get on live and block all y'all that.
Principal.
Get the fuck on. Leave me the fuck alone on folks. I don't know nothing about nobody, bro. Everybody broke as hell, bro. If your ass ain't rich or no limit, I don't give a fuck about you folks. Leave me the fuck alone, folks. Suck dick. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. But get the fuck off my page. Get y'all ass goofy as hell.
However, despite getting angry at these incriminating comments, as time went on, Herbo would continue to make subtle references thought to be aimed at his former top op. In 4 Minutes of Hell Part 5, G Herbo would mock Shooter Shells for getting shot in the head so gruesomely, saying he never made any money and has no head left. Fellow No Limit rapper Crazy James would rap on his Never Cared remix that they're going to Shooter Shells their ops. And even Lil Bibby, the one person who Shooter Shells said he respected for never dissing the dead, would come out on the song Crack Baby, seeming to reference the incident with the line, "Last one to diss the gang, his brains was all sloppy." The killing of Shooter Shells wasn't without consequence, however, as 13 days after his killing, an OG figure in No Limit by the name of G Slim would lose their life too. Allegedly, Black Mob and Lakeside were responsible for the slaying, which took place at 5:15 AM on the 1500 block of East 82nd Street.
Damn! Set that nigga up! That's 051 Melly uncle! G Slim! Damn! Bro, that's 5 something in the morning, bro. Hey, he got set up.
G Slim, real name Lavondale Noble, was shot in the neck and hand and died, while another man was shot in the face and survived, with a seemingly innocent bystander being hit in the groin and neck, IDing the shooter's vehicle as a white sedan. But regardless, with one of their biggest and most feared rivals, Shooter Shells, off the streets, No Limit members might, for the time being, feel a little bit safer on their block. However, as Shooter Shells said himself, the consequence of killing a rival now means that you must live in fear for losing one of your own friends or family members. And in the years that followed, the violence would continue to play out the same way. But there was one particular act of violence that a No Limit member was accused of, just before Shooter Shells was killed, that may well be one of the most shocking incidents in this story, and perhaps even Chicago drill history at large. And that's the story of Lil Wet from No Limit, who allegedly killed 4 people in one night.
Damn, man. Hey, look, we gonna start on that next video, man. This was part 4 or part 3 of the NLMB story, man. If y'all fuck with that, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. This shit was way over my cut budget, nigga. But hey, man, I'ma fuck with y'all niggas.